are working on head and arm attacks for the last 2 weeks of the month. Does anybody want to be on our YouTube channel that we have happening here?
Oh, yeah.
Lorad, you want to be on it?
Yes.
All right, Lorad's on. All right. Lorad's on the YouTube channel. Anything to say to the YouTube audience before we get started?
Welcome.
Use that as a new promo, okay? All right, we need more subscribers. Not doing too well on that channel. All right, Lorad's going to be here. Lorad's going to be playing butterfly guard, all right? So guys, when Lorad's playing butterfly guard, he has a decision to make. He can play a symmetrical butterfly like this or a one-sided butterfly. For the classic sweep, he's going to be choosing to have a one-sided butterfly. So he's going to tuck one of his legs. He's going to have this hook active. He's going to close the distance. He's going to underhook me with that same side as that. Yeah, exactly. Just like this, right? So this hook right here is loaded. This whole leg is loaded. So when Lorad takes away my arm, all he has to do exactly is just extend his leg, fold a little bit to the side, and I'm going to go flying, right? So guys, when we're here, everything is predicated on this hip and this butt cheek right over here. If there's a little tiny gap, this hook is loaded, all right? So I'm in danger zone. So first step is my head has to go over his arm, and I have to sink my weight, and I have to fly this as much as I can, right? Now that this hip and this butt cheek's on the floor, Lorad starts to sweep me with this leg, it becomes a little bit more difficult for me, all right? So this is very, very important. So again, when they set the butterfly up, they scooch in right away. You have to sink your weight, and you have to lower your arms as well, right? Just like this. Now, this hand, Lorad's gonna have a tight grip on my tricep. I wanna create a little distance. So I'm gonna cock it back, and I'm gonna put my thumb right into his hip bone, all right? On this right side right over here. Now, I'm gonna infiltrate this little pocket of space over his underhook, right? I'm gonna bring my leg back for a split second. This is gonna shoot in, and now my arm is gonna become an underhook. And very important, guys, is I pull Lorad onto a side like this, right? So notice the position I get into. I have a nice underhook, I have an overhook, and for a moment in time, Lorad does not have his frames. I could pass if I want to, but I'm going to choose to go for a rolling anaconda in this instance, right? It's very important to keep Lorad on the side because I'm going to fall into this space right over here, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let go of the tricep. I'm going to start to roll, and I'm going to go for a shin strap. And guys, it's very important that you try to keep your partner on their side. Try not to flatten the person as you're rolling, okay? But Lorad, he himself is not going to be flat because he himself is going to want to start to turn, right? Guys, this chin strap is very important. Lorad, try to come on top of me. Look, I'm opening, the other way, Lorad. Look, I'm opening up his chin to make it harder for him. Whereas if this grip wasn't there, Lorad, go. He's able to spin right on top of me, right? So I want to make sure that you're doing a good job of controlling the chin. If Lorad goes the other way, go ahead the other way, I'm going to start to follow him, and then I'm going to start to lock up guillotines and stuff like that, right? So, but we're gonna just stay here for a moment. Now, I have this underhook of the arm. I'm going to move his arm slightly across his neck, Chris. So you see where the arm is? It's high over his head. I'm going to adjust it, and now I'm going to replace my hand with my knee. I'm going to take my knee, and I'm going to start to bring it over Lorad's neck. At this moment, guys, you want to keep your head nice and snug, and I'm going to walk my hand as deep as I can. Now, Tony, you're messing up the audio for the camera, brother. So put the camera on the guy. Thanks. All right, make sure that everyone knows why the audio was messed up. Now, instead of grabbing my bicep here, guys, look, I'm gonna extend my tricep, and I'm gonna grab as far on my tricep as I can. Now I'm gonna rev the motor, and I'm gonna start to grab Lorad's back. From here, when I walk in and I do a little squeeze, Lorad is forced to tap. All right, it's gonna come really, really tight. All right, so again, instead of just locking your hand like this where there's a big gap, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend, grab very deep down my tricep, and then when I roll it, as you can see, that space is decreased, and that's gonna make the choke a lot tighter. Okay, so again, once more. So Lorad is here, he's in on his butterfly. I'm gonna be posting in a sip, and I'm gonna be making weight on that underhook and on his loaded leg. Cock this back for a second. The reason you want to cock it back, sometimes he'll have a hook and sometimes it's going to be a little sticky, right? So just cocking this back is going to clear it. And now I can start to go, and immediately I put him onto a side by doing a pull and grabbing the tricep, all right? I'm going to roll through. As soon as I roll through, I grab his chin. From the chin, I'm going to use my knee to bring his arm across his neck, wiggling my hand as deep as I can. From here, instead of going right to the bicep, I'm going to my tricep instead. As soon as I get my tricep, look how I'm going to rev it, and I'm grabbing his body. Don't have a floater hand, all right? Make sure you're grabbing the lat, and now when I walk in, my body pushes his head right into the choking arm, and then he is forced to tap, all right? Becomes pretty tight in that position, all right? Any questions, guys, before we start trying it? Mo, everything's good? Cool? Let's give it a try, guys. Most of the time we are aligned as opposed to misaligned. Like most of the time I'm not standing like this. Like it's very rare that you're gonna be in these kind of stances, right? Same thing from the butterfly. When I'm here in front of Lorad, when I'm playing my butterfly position, go down Lorad. I'm not like this, guys. Here. And I'm also usually not gonna be with two hooks like this. This is not bad, but I'm actually blocking myself. For me to sweep Larod, I have to tuck my leg. Also, later, Larod, I want you to tripod a little bit as I'm sweeping you, right? So later, I'm trying to go for a sweep, he's tripoding. Phil, look at this leg, look. I'm gonna use this leg to start to activate and lengthen it to be able to sweep him, all right? So it's very important, guys, that I'm actually tucking my leg in without Larod, and as I'm going for the sweep, look, eventually I'm gonna go like that, all right, to get more extension on my leg, all right? So that's what we're practicing how to counter. When the person has a one-sided butterfly, all right, he's gonna have his underhook, and he's gonna have his leg tucked in like this, right? So also, this is a precursor to a lot of leg entanglements that he can do. If this leg goes underneath here, this is like a low reverse X. He can look to enter into saddles, etc., right? So I'm posting on the hip, I'm cocking this leg back for a split second, I'm bringing this in. Scott, this is not the position that we're in. You see what I'm saying? Look at how I'll have both of my knees on the floor. Laura, tip me over this way. I'm just gonna go flying, all right? So I'm not in an athletic stance. This is a very athletic stance. Look at this leg. I'm balancing constantly with this leg. For those of you that remember what we were doing last week, if Larod posts, I have this post to kind of negate it. I can start to push. I'm going underneath, and same as Sue, who was practicing now, I switch my stance. This leg is up, and I can go for my darts, right? But today we're going for the Anaconda. So I have this grip, I have this grip, this leg is posted, okay guys? Very, very important. And people on the bottom, I want you to move around a little bit and try to off-balance your partner. Larod, move me around a little bit. Like, I'm able to keep a really good balance by keeping this leg posted, right? Now I'm gonna occupy the space behind his back by rolling and grabbing his chin. Just like that. It's very important I'm opening this up. If Larod's arm is here, then I'm gonna use my knee to bring it across his neck. If his arm's already across his neck, I don't need to do that. So now look, this hand is gonna go into his armpit as deep as I can. I'm gonna take this out. I'm grabbing my tricep as deep as I can. I'm revving, I'm doing a bicep curl, grabbing his back. He already feels it. As I walk into him, my chest pushes his head into the choke, all right? So that's how the finishing mechanics of the position work. If I can step over his legs and hook his legs, even better, all right? But a lot of times it's gonna be difficult to achieve that. Cool, let's clean up a little bit.